This conference will now be recorded.
Turn on my mic. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the City of Warrenville City Council regular meeting for Monday, October 4th, 2021. In accordance with Governor Pritzker's disaster proclamation, Section 7E of the Illinois Open Meetings Act, 5 ILCS 120/7-E, and a determination by the Mayor of the City of Warrenville, this meeting will be held virtually. Although public attendance is not limited at this time, persons wishing to provide public comment are strongly encouraged to submit written comments via email at info@warrenville.io.us by 5 p.m. the day of the meeting. Please note this meeting is being recorded. Also note it is the city's policy to require face coverings during all public meetings in City Hall, regardless of vaccination status, unless a minimum of 6 feet of separation from others can be consistently maintained. And that would be why at the dais, now that we are more than 6 foot apart, we are not wearing masks. May I have the roll call, please?
Mayor Brummel?
Here.
Alderman Anderson?
Here.
Thank you. Alderman Ashour is excused tonight. Alderman Berry?
Aye. Here.
Alderman Davalos?
Here.
Alderman Goodman?
Here.
Alderman Krischel?
Here.
Alderman Widener?
Here.
Alderman Wilson?
Here.
City Clerk Julie Clark here. City Treasurer Ann Behrens?
Here.
City Attorney Brooke Lenneman?
Here.
City Administrator John Coakley is not here.
Correct.
Assistant City Administrator Christina White here. Police Chief Ray Toronto.
Here.
Finance Director Kevin Dahlstrand.
Here.
Community and Economic Development Director Ron Menzer.
Here.
Public Works Director Phil Kukler.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get to the business of the meeting and the citizens' comments, we have a couple of proclamations this evening. The first one is for Arts DuPage. The month of October is the Arts DuPage month. And the proclamation goes like this. Whereas Arts DuPage has regularly issued official proclamations to all the cities, towns, and villages in DuPage County on an annual basis designating October as Arts DuPage month. And whereas the arts embody much of the accumulated wisdom, intellect, and imagination of humankind, and whereas arts enrich us as individuals and play a unique role in the lives of our families, our communities, and whereas the arts promote a better understanding of the diversified cultures within our communities and unify us regardless of age, race, and ethnicity. And whereas the arts sector of DuPage County consists of 2,272 arts-related businesses and account for 4.2% of the total number of businesses in the region, a larger share of the economy than transportation, tourism, agriculture, and construction. And whereas the arts provide full-time employment for over 15,000 workers in DuPage County, and whereas the arts improve our economy, enrich our civil life, drive tourism and commerce, and exert a profound positive influence on the education of our children. And whereas the coronavirus had a devastating impact on DuPage County's creative sector, forcing 99% of arts organizations to shut down, thus placing arts among the most severely affected segment of the nation's workforce. Even in challenging times, the arts helped collectively to lead us through the darkest times of the pandemic, lifting our spirits, unifying communities, and providing entertainment. Now, with the move to phase 5 of Illinois COVID-19 mitigation plan, the arts will play a vital role in rebuilding our communities, jumpstarting the economy, and leading us back to normalcy. Now therefore be it resolved that I, David L. Brummel, Mayor of the City of Warrenville, do hereby proclaim October 2021 as Arts DuPage Month in the City of Warrenville and call upon our community members to celebrate and promote the arts in DuPage County. October 21 is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we stand with all who have been affected by a diagnosis of breast cancer, and we recognize all who have supported and joined their loved ones in fighting their battle, as well as the researchers and healthcare providers whose diligence and hard work gives hope to those living with breast cancer. And whereas breast cancer is the most common cancer that affects both women and men in the United States, followed only by lung cancer, with 1 in 8 women diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. Overall, in 2020, over 1.8 million cases of new cancers of all types were diagnosed, and cancer is a disease that, if caught early with screening, certainly has shown improved outcomes. And whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has caused both women and men to delay seeking routine cancer screening tests due to the multiplicity of factors, and because of such delays, local physicians have seen more cancers being identified later than they may have been before the pandemic. And whereas great strides in breast cancer and other cancer treatments have made over the last 10 years, with more breakthroughs in treatment every day. However, these treatments are less effective if the patient is not diagnosed early due to a delay in screening for cancer, and thus cancer is not diagnosed or diagnosed later than need be. And whereas it takes only a simple, caring reminder to encourage our loved ones, family, and friends to seek out our screening mammograms, which lead to early detection and early treatment options. And whereas breast cancer screening for women and men is readily available in many of our hospitals and clinics, and for those in need, the Illinois Breast and Cervical Cancer Screening Program in DuPage County provides free basic services for eligible uninsured women in Illinois, including a clinical breast exam, mammogram, pelvic exam, and Pap test. And whereas wearing pink or blue ribbons is a helpful reminder to everyone, there is no substitute for reaching out and engaging in dialogue with loved ones, family, and friends about getting their screening mammogram. And whereas by educating ourselves and supporting innovative research, we will improve the quality of life for all Americans affected by breast cancer, and one day defeat this terrible disease. Now, therefore, I, David L. Brummel, Mayor of the City of Warrenville, do hereby proclaim the month of October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month and urge my fellow citizens to become aware of the fact that breast cancer has an impact on our community that resonates far beyond just the patient with the diagnosis, and that we as a community support the fight against breast cancer so that one day, very soon, we can eliminate delayed diagnosis and eradicate this cancer and all others. So please get that exam regularly. Okay, we'll move on to citizens comment portion of our meeting. There are 3 ways to participate in the meeting. You can come in person for your comments. You can email us comments before the meeting, or you can make comments if you're on the line. We start with someone who's in the audience today. Mr. Bob Siebert is here.
Bob Siebert, Albright Court. Item D on tonight's agenda is spending $670,000 to the Water and Sewer Fund to fund water and sewer infrastructure projects, fund the ongoing infiltration and inflow I&I project costs, and reduce future rate increases. I agree with this, but what if we could double this amount to $1.34 million? And this would piggyback with item G, which is hiring a financial advisor, because a statement on the original service recommendation was the fact that you were looking for firms to serve as financial advisors to the city in determining the best options, including possible debt issuance for financing the infrastructure improvements needed in TIF 4. So if we could double this amount to 1.34 million, we would make a large step towards this objective. And we can. It's very simple to double this amount. We simply loan the $670,000 to TIF 4, and then we get paid back $670,000. So the citizens in the city gain. And we did this 20 years ago with this building that we're in, where we took $1.5 million donation from the Cantera developer, loaned it to the TIF district, and received back $1.5 million with 8% interest. So we had $3 million. And there are individuals in this arena today that utilized that $1.5 million in the early 2000 years when there was a shortage in the general fund, and you use that extra $1.5 million for that spending. We should be able also to use the $670,000. The great benefit here is we are going along with all the requirements of the federal act. We're going along with the requirements of the TIF district, and we wind up with an additional $670,000, which can be utilized either in the general fund or utilized in the water and sewer fund to ensure that the citizens, taxpayers, do not pay higher rates. So I encourage you to look at doing this process, which is basically doing something with no cost that has the only thing you have to worry about is waiting, and you'll be able to determine that with the development that has occurred in TIF 4. You can determine when the tax revenue will come in, but you'd be spending the money either way. In this way, you receive the bonus. So I encourage you very heartily to look at that operation, and you can add my yes vote to Spear Financial. And after you give him a contract, I can tell you a funny story about Spear.
Thank you, Bob. Do we have any email comments for this evening? We do not. Anyone on the phone who wishes to make a comment at this point, please speak up and identify yourself. Hearing no one, we'll move on to official and staff comments, beginning with the mayor. Just my condolences to the family of Mary Jo Huber. Mary Jo died recently. She was a frequent critic here at City Hall, but also a good friend, and she was always respectful in her criticisms. They always involved issues and not personal attacks. So she will be missed by many, especially those folks who were blessed to receive a quilt from her over the years. And there were many, many folks like that. So Mary Jo, rest in peace. City Clerk.
I have nothing.
Thank you. City Treasurer. Ann, anything to add?
Yes, nothing.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to the Alderman then, beginning with Alderman Anderson.
No comments tonight.
Thank you. Alderman Berry.
I have no
comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Davalos, have you recovered from the celebration of your daughter's wedding?
I have. What a celebration. I am extraordinarily happy. My son did a good job too. Thank you, but I have no comments tonight, but thank you, Mayor.
But you do have a big smile, I see.
I do. For a long time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alderman Goodman.
Yes, I have a couple of things. First off, the Fermilab annual Tritium report is out. And at last week's Fermilab Community Advisory Board meeting, I expressed the opinion that I've heard from so many residents that it would be greatly appreciated if site access for outdoor, normal, natural areas, activities could be restored soon. But they continue to say that it isn't going to be anytime soon. So just an update on that to the extent that there is no update. The second thing I wanted to talk about is that US COVID-19 deaths just passed 700,000 on Friday. As most of us know, that's probably an undercount, certainly, but even so, that's more than the entire population of the city of Boston, just to put that into context a little bit. So this is even more tragic than the early COVID deaths because so many, the vast majority of recent deaths, well over 90%, since the vaccine has been readily available, are deaths among the unvaccinated, which means that they were preventable. So this is heartbreaking. This is something we need to continue to take time to acknowledge, even in the middle of all of this death, and not let it go by unnoticed, especially when so many of the deaths these days are among younger people, 55 and under, even children. Preventable deaths that are widespread in our community are tragic at any time. And it's a sad moment when 700,000 people of our fellow citizens have died to this terrible illness. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Krischel.
Just a reminder, the Fire Protection District open house will be on Wednesday from 6 to 8. So come on down and there'll be plenty of stuff to do and see and have a good time. So that's all. Thanks.
Great, thank you. And that's at the Batavia Road Station.
Correct. Yep.
Very good. Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Widener.
Yeah, thank you. I in no way want to take the focus off of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but in Mr. Coakley's absence, I certainly want to stress the importance of continuing to follow the protocols regarding COVID. This past couple of weeks, there were 2 people in my circle of loved ones who were vaccinated, who tested positive and got ill from COVID. So I'd just like to once again emphasize that the precautions that we're all taking are necessary and that hope everyone stays in good health. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Wilson.
No comments, thank you.
And thank you also. Okay, we'll move on then to the city administrator, who will be the assistant city administrator, Christina White, tonight. Christina, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. Just adding on to what Alderman Goodman and Alderman Widener already said, we did have an update from the DuPage County Health Department today, and the positivity rate and other indicators for COVID are improving in the county, but we are still in high transmission. With over 70% fully vaccinated among those that are eligible for vaccination. Those are all good signs. However, we do need to remain vigilant and continue to mask indoors and social distance. And of course, if you're able to get vaccinated, please do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. City Attorney Brooke, good evening.
Good evening. In the spirit of the prior comments, I just wanted to highlight, I hope all of you have received the email, but Elrod Friedman has made the decision, given the current status of the COVID pandemic, to postpone our local government officials biennial seminar, which I bored you with the details earlier. It was a little preemptive on our part, but so the new date is May 6th. So I hope you mark your calendars for then, and we'll just hope that we're in a better place in 6 months or so. But if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. Okay, we'll move on to the approval of the agenda for this evening. May I have a motion, please?
Alderman Widener moves to approve the agenda for the October 4th, 2021 City Council regular meeting.
Second, Alderman Davalos.
We have a motion. Second. May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Goodman,
Aye.
Alderman Anderson, is that a yes?
Alderman Anderson, you are muted.
Oh, aye. Yes.
Thank you. Alderman Widener,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Chrisell,
Aye.
Alderman Berry,
I also wanted to remove item I, but I guess I didn't speak fast enough, but we can skip that. It'll be fine.
Okay, all right. If you don't want to do it, we still could do it if you would like.
That's okay.
All right,
Alderman Davalos,
Aye.
thank you.
okay. So we're all set to go with the agenda as presented. We have a couple of sets of minutes that need approval also. Alderman Widener, would you like to make that motion also?
Certainly, thank you. Move to approve the minutes of the September 20th, 2021 City Council regular meeting and to approve the minutes of the September 27th, 2021 Public Safety and Finance Committee of the whole meeting.
Second, Alderman Davalos.
Motion and a second. Any discussion of those minutes? Please speak up, identify yourself and speak up. Hearing none, may I have another roll call, please?
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman
Aye.
Davalos, sorry, Alderman Davalos,
Aye.
Alderman Berry,
Aye.
Alderman Chrisell,
Aye.
Alderman Goodman,
Aye.
Alderman Anderson,
Aye.
Alderman Widener,
Aye.
thank you.
Motion carries. The minutes are approved. The consent agenda for this evening, item 6A, accept Plan Commission recommendation, waive second reading and pass ordinance 02021-35, approving a temporary use permit for the Warrenville Public Library District's concert on the Commons events in the calendar years 2022, 2023, and 2024 at Bob Walters Commons. B, accept Plan Commission recommendation, waive second reading and pass ordinance 02021-36, approving a temporary use permit for temporary tents at the Waldorf School of DuPage, located at 20 W160 Calumet Avenue. C, accept staff recommendation and pass resolution R2021-56, approving a brownfield revolving loan fund intergovernmental agreement between the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency and the City of Warrenville for the former Citgo OTRS number 2. D, accept Public Safety and Finance Committee recommendation from the Long Range Financial Planning Work Group and authorize the use of the first tranche of the American Rescue Plan Act funding during FY22 as follows. 1, $30,000 to hotel and travel business recovery through the DuPage Convention and Visitors Bureau. 2, $180,000 to the hotel tax fund to replace lost revenue. 3, $15,000 to the DuPage Senior Citizen Council to provide additional funding to serve Warrenville seniors. And 4, $670,464.51 to the Water and Sewer Fund to fund water and sewer infrastructure projects, fund the ongoing infiltration and inflow project costs, and reduce future rate increases. E, accept Public Safety and Finance Committee recommendation and approve the revised objectives for the 2015 Strategic Plan Diversity Goal. F, accept Public Safety and Finance Committee recommendation and approve the diversity statement as recommended by IDEC. G, accept Public Safety and Finance Committee recommendation and the recommendation from the Long Range Financial Planning Work Group to direct staff to negotiate a professional services agreement with Spear Financial to serve in the capacity of financial advisors for the City of Warrenville. H, accept Public Safety and Finance Committee recommendation and approve the fiscal year 2023 budget preparation and adoption timeline, including a City Council budget workshop on Saturday, March 12th, 2022. I, accept Public Safety and Finance Committee recommendation and approve the revised calendar year 2022 City Council and Committee of the Whole meeting schedule. J, accept Public Safety and Finance Committee recommendation and approve the calendar year 2022 city holiday schedule. K, receive and file minutes of the Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Awareness Commission meeting held on August 17th, 2021. L, receive and file minutes of the Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting held on September 23rd, 2021. M, receive and file report of invoices paid up to September 29th, 2021 in the amount of $78,484.90. And N, authorize expenditures for invoices due on or before October 18th, 2021 in the amount of $469,705.84.
Alderman Widener moves to approve the agenda as presented by Mayor David Brummel.
Second, Alderman Davalos.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Anderson,
Aye.
Alderman Chrisell,
Aye.
Alderman Davalos,
Aye.
Alderman Widener,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Berry,
Aye.
Alderman Goodman.
Aye.
Motion carries and the consent agenda as presented has been approved for this evening. We have nothing under the regular agenda. We have no listing for unfinished business. The same for new business, nothing there, and we do not need a closed session. So what we do need, however, is a motion to adjourn.
Alderman Goodman moves to adjourn.
Second, Alderman Chrisell.
Okay, motion and a second. May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Widener,
Aye.
Alderman Anderson,
Aye.
Alderman Berry,
Aye.
Alderman Davalos,
Aye.
Alderman Chrisell,
Aye.
Alderman Goodman,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carries. We are adjourned for this evening. Thank you for your attention. And please do follow all the recommendations for COVID-19 and stay safe and healthy. And we will see you next time.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Everybody.
Night.